All right, welcome back to another episode of the Maple Mile Podcast. As you know, I'm Isaiah.
I'm Jesse.
And today we have a special guest for me personally. As some know, he happens to be my brother. He was an avid runner in middle school and early high school, and then after taking roughly a 7-year break from the sport, he recently, specifically about just a year ago, he started his running journey once again. After just 1 year, he went from struggling with a 5K to running his first ever marathon successfully. On top of all of this, he is hard at work as a graphic designer for a nonprofit in Kalamazoo, Michigan, which is named Isaac. Stands for Interfaith Strategy for I messed up. And action in the community, which we will talk about later on in the episode. He is an incredibly dedicated runner who is always finding ways to get better, both as a person and as a runner. Don't want to gas you up. Only time I might say this, you might have better fashion than me, but I don't know. Kaleb Wolfgang.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yeah,
For sure. Should we just do training status real quick?
Yeah. Do a training update.
Yeah. I can start, I guess.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. So we're actually recording on a Saturday today because it works better for Caleb. So there really hasn't been that big of a difference for me. I've just been putting in low mileage. I had a tiny workout. It was like 1 mile at 5:30, and then just like 4x400 at 75 seconds, and that was pretty much it. I'm just bopping along right now.
Bopping.
Pause. Whatever. Okay. That's about it.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. For me, for training wise, there's nothing to talk about. I had a really, really strong end to my cross country season, which I was really happy with. So it was just a really good way to end the season. So I'm definitely ready for indoor to hurry up and start. I just want to keep racing, but I'm on my week break right now, but I start back up Monday. So I'm really excited for that. It's been nice having time off, but after only a couple of days, you start I don't know, you get really antsy and then you miss it. So I'm excited to get back to it.
For sure. I think that's the general consensus of the team that has been taking a break.
For sure.
Everyone, especially Anthony, dude, he's itching to get back into it. So
yeah.
Sure.
Everybody's ready, and we have an indoor meet most likely coming up here in a few weeks. So just getting ready for that. But also, we had our meetings with our coaches and stuff this week, just a recap of the cross season and talk about future training plans and stuff like that. But yeah, in my downtime, I've just been enjoying the downtime because I basically have an extra 2 to 3 hours of free time in my afternoon.
Man.
So yeah, it's been nice, especially with homework. It's been really nice having all that extra time. But
yeah.
All right. So what's
My training?
Yeah.
So I finished running the Detroit Marathon at the end of October. I took the rest of that week off, didn't run at all. And I'm starting to get back into it. What I'm really focusing on right now is lifting and building that up, because getting in marathon shape, I didn't have any energy or was in any condition to lift and run at the same time.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to build that up right now. So for my next training block, I can cross train a little better.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a really smart way to start the training block, just getting a better base. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. The first thing we got to talk about, you mentioned you just got done with your marathon, Detroit Marathon.
That's right.
First ever marathon. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. Where do you want me to start?
Let's just go through the race first.
Yeah.
How was it?
It was good. I felt I took a lot of advice from Isaiah going into it. So I felt my prep was really good. 2 weeks before the race, I started adjusting my sleep schedule to be better on pace with what I would actually have to do on race day. I had my meals down every day, every time, just like it would be on race day, including the dinner before. I had it all prepped out. I think I got to the starting line way early. The race started at 7 a.m. and I was on the starting line by 5:30. And they recommended get there an hour or so early, and I was like, okay,
You were ready to go.
This is crazy.
It was me and 3 other people, and I figured out that the other 3 people were the front of the pack, and they were really about it. So I just hung out for like an hour, just tried to stay warm, used the bathroom, feel as much as I could. And when I signed up for the marathon, they have you put in your estimated time, and I thought I was going to be way faster by the end of my training block. So my goal for the marathon, I wanted to finish in 5 hours and 15 minutes. And when I signed up, I thought I was going to finish in 4 hours. So they put me in the starting block of the 4-hour marathoners. So no exaggeration, the first mile, I probably got passed by about 2,000, 3,000 runners.
And it's a huge marathon.
It's a
huge.
pretty big marathon.
That's crazy.
So, which I was already nervous on my ability to do it, and being passed by thousands of people in the first bit, not that fun. But I just focused on my splits, kept real, because what I heard from other marathon runners was that first mile you have a lot of energy and you're around all these people and you just want to go. So I made sure to like intentionally hold back those first miles, and I felt I was really good up until mile 20. I couldn't get any more gels out of my pockets. So for the last half marathon, I had no gels, and because I didn't want to stop and like have to like fidget around in my pockets to get them out. So I was just like, I'll just keep running. And they had good water stations, and I'm like, I think I can be fine. But mile 20 hit, and the way the Detroit Marathon worked was that mile 20, the last 6 miles were down and back. So you would go down 3 and then you would come back and finish. So I would see people at mile 20 on mile like 25 and a half. And that was the hardest thing mentally, to go like, oh, they're an hour ahead of me. Okay, there's an hour left. Cardio wise, I felt fine the entire race, but 20, 21, 22, knees and hips just started going.
Yeah.
And that was brutal. And I was on schedule to do 5 hours and 15 minutes, and that was really important to me because I wanted to beat my mom's time, which was 5 hours and 19 minutes. And if I didn't have that goal, I would have just walked a couple miles. But I knew that I didn't have the time limit to get away with that. So I just a slowly deteriorating of, all right, I'm going to run for 2 minutes and then walk for 30 seconds. All right, now I'm going to run for a mile, walk for 30 seconds. And then I got to 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off of just however I can to get to the end. And I ended up finishing with 5 hours and 11 minutes.
Sweet.
So
congratulations, by the way.
thank you.
It's always a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
What did you eat before the race?
I had a big Chipotle bowl.
Okay.
This was night before,
the
right?
night before.
I was gonna say,
The night before I had a big Chipotle bowl, double rice, double protein. And then the morning of a granola bar, a gel, and a peanut butter sandwich.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. What kind of gels do you use?
Morton.
Yeah, he gets the good stuff.
That's really
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Isaiah also told me that he got you into the half tights gang.
Yeah, half tights, man.
Yeah. He kept talking them up, and I was like, I think my normal running shorts are fine.
Well, they were like, yeah, no, you go ahead, continue.
They were. Isaiah always pushes me to get higher end running stuff. I think because like he low key wants to test it out and feel what it's like. Like my first running shoes I ever bought were Alpha Flies.
But I didn't tell you to get those. You got those on your own, and then I was so
Because they were the nicest running shoes.
Yeah, you were like nicest ones. That's
Okay. The Alpha Flies, it's a Nike shoe that's like $275 for those that don't know what an Alpha Fly is.
One of the
It is
by far.
a high-end
And they're
marathon
marathon
shoe.
shoes. And when I started off, I was just running like 2 miles at a time. So I would go and run for like 30 minutes in Alpha Flies and be like, all right.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably fun though.
Yeah. They work. They're crazy.
Yeah, they're good. Did you ever lift in them?
No.
Okay, thank
No,
God.
but I did run on a treadmill in them.
That's not terrible. That's not as bad as lifting.
Yeah, those are Alpha Flies actually right there.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
see
Was it the first or second or what generation you got?
I think the first.
First one.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got like the Aeroswift half tights, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pink
That's pretty
color.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
those are
those
nice
are
ones.
fire.
Those are nice ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Let's talk about what was training like for you, because this was. I mean, you took like a long break from the sport. I mean, in between that, you would still run to stay in shape and stuff, but not like super consistently.
Yeah.
I mean, you do a lot of other things. You would play basketball a lot. You'd lift,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But what was it like to be like in a full training program, all in stuff like that?
I actually really liked it because before I would just like work out and be active, but it was very nice just waking up and just like checking my calendar of like, oh, what's the workout today, and then I would just go and do that, and that was really nice instead of me having to figure out like, how do I feel, how much do I want to run, like where do I even go, and like this forced me to like actually like answer all of those questions before and then just be able to like show up and do the workout, which was way nicer.
Yeah, having that structure, it's like really satisfying, and then to make that like Strava upload or just check the box, it's just so satisfying.
Strava's what kept me going. Being able to upload that and share that and get my one kudos from Isaiah.
Not anymore though. Not anymore. You've gone up a little.
I'm up in a little.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, at Kaleb Wolfgang.
That's right.
Kaleb
That's
Wolfgang
right.
Strava, just like him, or not like him. Just follow him.
Follow me. Give me some kudos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Shoot, what was I gonna say? Was the training like running 6 days a week, or like
Yeah, what it look like?
So I started off the end of 2023. I was starting to get into running and really considering like, I think I might do a marathon, but like that feels there's a certain minimum condition that you have to be in before you like really start training. Otherwise you're just going to get injured or get burnt out. So the end of 2023, I was building that up. And I wanted to go straight into a marathon training block. And Isaiah yelled at me and said, you're going to get burnt out. You're not in good enough shape to even start marathon training. Yeah. So I started off, I did a half marathon. So that training block was from January to April. And then rolled that into the full marathon training block.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and you did it pretty smart too, because you did a 5K, actually almost exactly a year ago.
Turkey Trot 2023.
Yeah, you did that, and it was on a cross country course, so it did not make it easier.
No.
But you did that, and then you used that, and then you went right into half marathon training, did your half marathon, and then pretty much
So the training block was scheduled 5 days of running, 2 days of cross training or rest. And that was a lot to me. So I took off one of the days. So I was running 4 days a week.
Okay.
With a speed workout and a long run, and then 2 tempo runs in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. What was like your mileage toward, like, kind of like
in the marathon, it was hovering around 35 to 40 miles a week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad actually got into running, I don't know, maybe a year ago, and actually started with the turkey trot.
That's how it starts out.
And then built to a half marathon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think it's kind of cool that you guys kind of have that.
Yeah.
I remember you were telling me that one story. I'm sure your dad probably got this too. Like, you finish your marathon, you're done. You take a couple days off, and then you get like, you were telling me about that. You get super antsy.
Yeah.
Just like,
I finished the marathon, and it was my mindset those last couple miles and definitely the next couple days of like, I'm never doing this again. This is the worst. Why would I sign up for this thing?
Yeah.
And then after a week of not running, I was like, I want to be out there again.
Yeah.
I think I like it.
The running bug.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It sticks with you.
Yeah. I will say I don't think my dad had that running bug, but he also destroyed his toenail.
Okay.
So, yeah, but that just happens in running too. So.
For sure. It's part of the gig. Yeah.
Yeah. I also moved out, so like I came to college. I'm not talking running with him all the time.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. That's probably also why, but
yeah.
Yeah.
What I would say for you personally, what are some new things that you learned about being a runner? And this would be like a segue into our next funny topic, but to put you on the spot.
I was thinking, whenever like you pick like what I was doing before running was just kind of like casually working out.
Yeah.
And it was very like result based. Like I wanted to be in a certain amount of shape. Yeah. And like I'm doing this to get that. And I didn't really enjoy a lot of I liked lifting and going on hikes or playing basketball, things like that, but like I think the biggest thing for me was like finding a routine and a community and a lifestyle that you liked. And for me, running was something that I really liked. I liked the longevity of, you see people running all the time. I had people so much older than me passing me in the race, which is like really cool to think like, oh, I can be even faster at like triple my age.
Yeah.
Which I really like that, because in other sports, it's kind of, you get to 30 and it really starts to fall off.
Right.
And I like that running, like you can start later in life and still improve, and your body can just handle it.
Oh, for sure. Especially in those longer races. And it's not like running's kind of nice too, because like after you know high school, college, whatever, you don't need to rely on like teammates and stuff like to be able to like have fun with it. You can do it like solo too. I mean, it's a solo sport. It's different when you're on like a collegiate team or something like that, but even then it can be solo sometimes.
Yeah. No, I think also what helps people get into it is running clubs.
For sure.
Yeah, like when you're first starting, it's so hard to get out like that fourth day. Like the first 3 days, okay, whatever. But like when you're out there the fourth, fifth, sixth day, like that's when it gets hard. And having a running group to just be like, we're just gonna get through this together. Like
helps a ton.
Yeah, for sure.
No, for sure.
Yeah. Did you say you had a funny story about your half marathon or your first half marathon?
Yes, we gotta hear
so
this.
there's two crazy things. I'll do the less crazy one first. I was not able to use the bathroom before the start of the race.
Okay.
And
see where this is going.
I was like, okay, like this has happened to me in like training runs before. So like I think I can get through the race, and like I might have to walk, but I'm okay with that. And I'm feeling pretty good. I get to about mile 6.
Oh, that's so early.
It's out of 13. Yeah. And I did the Kalamazoo half marathon, and on that course they had some porta potties, but it was like every 3 miles, and I was about I had to go backwards about a mile to the last one, and I didn't know how much further I had to go for the next one, and I was like, okay, like I feel it, but it'll pass, and it did not pass, and I was like, and we're running through a neighborhood, and there are people everywhere outside in their houses, and I'm like, I can't go anywhere. I don't. And it got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm going to have to go. I was like, do I just like pull up to the side and just poop my pants? Like, so I turned around and there was these people cheering outside this house. And I went up to one of the ladies and I'm like, excuse me, like, is this your house? And she said, yeah. And I said, I'm so sorry, but can I please use your bathroom? Yeah. And the sweetest woman in the world, oh yeah, go right inside to the right. I said, oh my God, thank you so much. I go inside this random lady's house, use the bathroom, come back out and just like immediately jump back into the race and just start. And she was so nice. And
shout out.
Yeah, shout out whoever this lady was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt so much better the rest of the race. Where I was like, oh my, I feel pretty good now. This is fun.
You feel
running.
lighter. You feel lighter.
Yeah. But shout out that lady, because I would have been.
Yeah.
I would have just put my pants and sat on the road if not.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Should you say the second part of the story?
What's the second part?
The even crazier one?
Oh, the even crazier one?
We can cut it out if it's too much.
I don't think it's too much, but
this would be a good one for the real though.
Okay.
So mile 4, there was police officers along the course blocking roads and keeping traffic flowing, and there was an interaction, and there was a slight fender bender, and the police was there on the intersection, so he knew and was just walking up. And I just see a guy just sprint out of the car and start running. And I see a police officer pull out their gun towards them. And I'm about the distance between me and you right now from this.
Oh, okay.
And like, oh. And my first thought was, do I keep running the race? Because I'm like, I should get out of the way, but it feels really weird to just like, oh, I'm going to see that. And now back to half marathon pace. Oh, what are my splits? Like that felt really weird.
Yeah.
No shots were fired, but for the next 2 miles, I'm running through this neighborhood and about 80 police cars are driving through, trying to find this person who's running, zipping through, yelling at us.
Yeah. Cause, I was with my mom and I went to go watch, and my parents and I, and, we were at like, I forgot what mile marker. 7. Yeah. And it was 7 or 8. And like all of a sudden, a bunch of cop cars just keep going by. And we're like, what is going on? And then I guess that's what happened. But no one was injured, thank God. But
that was a fun thing to see.
Get a little adrenaline.
Yeah, because sometimes you're out there on a course and it's pretty boring. And Kalamazoo made sure we got some entertainment out there.
Shout out Kalamazoo.
Yeah. And they ran. It was really well organized. I mean, I didn't run. I don't know. It looked like it was organized, but
they're just, And yeah, it was just the craziest part was like I was there to like see it happen
Yeah.
because within that area, and it was early enough in the race that there was still a lot of people in that area, so they knew like there's a lot of police, but no one, only a few of us actually saw what happened. So
Holy, wait, so when you said from me to you, like from the guy, like the runner, or
yeah, so like you're the car that he ran out of.
okay,
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
holy,
and like, oh, okay. He ran away from me, but yeah, they something.
It was something.
that is wild. Yeah. Dang. I guess I can resonate more with the first story because I finished an 8-mile run. This was with Anthony, one of my first runs with him.
Oh no.
Like 2 years ago, and he was gonna do an out and back for 16 total miles, a progressive, and I was just gonna do 8 and then stop there because I lived pretty close. And by mile 4, my stomach was like, "Bro, what you doing?" And I don't know. I was fighting it by the end, and yeah, like there was just this lady smoking out on her patio, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm so sorry, but can I just please use your bathroom?" And she's like, "Yeah, I got 2 boys. It's okay." Like,
That's funny.
yeah.
Another shout out.
Yeah, another shout out. Like, thank you for using your patios, people. Like, we appreciate
Thank
it.
you for being out there. Yeah.
Yeah. Saved my life, man.
Yeah. Dude, oh my god, yeah. This is it's not it happens to every runner at least once, I feel like.
Yeah.
But at least once, yeah.
Where you just go into panic mode, like hips hurt, like go straight. You gotta
can't
find the
even run at that
bathroom.
point,
Man.
just waddle, the runners waddle. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's so
Okay, next segment.
next segment. Okay, so I mentioned earlier you work for the nonprofit in Kalamazoo.
Yep.
Isaac.
Yep.
Let's talk about a little bit about that. Give a little shout out. Just talk about what it is and
Sure. So it's a Kalamazoo specific grassroots nonprofit. And Isaac stands for Interfaith Strategy for Advocacy and Action in the Community, which basically just means we have about 30 different religious congregations that came together about 20 years ago. And instead of each organization focus like trying to help in a way, like what if we all banded together and used our collective power to like try and solve some issues? So that's kind of what that is. And every couple of years we hold an issues convention where we'll update the issues that we're working on, or if there's a bigger issue that comes up. So it's an ever evolving thing. But right now the 3 issues that we're working on are housing, anti-racism, and gun violence intervention / prevention.
Okay.
this is like in the Kalamazoo Portage area township. Yeah.
So like, what exactly are you doing there? Like, what's your position? I think we already.
He said it wrong. I didn't want to say anything, but good notes, Chad.
Yeah, it's the idea.
Kind of. My title is marketing and communications lead, which basically means any social media, any website, any flyers that we hand out. I'm also the youngest person that works there, so I kind of get designated into tech support a lot.
Oh yeah.
So Zoom meetings, if someone can't figure out how to share their screen, I come in and help do that. So
That's cool. Yeah, so like you like work Instagram pages and stuff like that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and it gets out there, and you guys are put on a lot of events too. I mean,
we try and do an annual big fundraiser event. So we've done banquets, we've done 5Ks. For this past election, we did Souls to the Polls, which was just trying to get people to show up to the election booth and make sure.
Water bottle right here.
Just making sure that people are voting and participating.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been working there?
Volunteering since 2017, and then I got offered an internship in 2020, and then that flowed into a full-time position.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was almost kind of worked out perfectly.
Yeah.
In a way. Yeah.
This is kind of off topic, but what was everyone's first job?
I worked on a farm. Like 2 summers in a row. It was incredibly hard. And I would do this during summer cross country training too. So I'd be like out working outside in the summer heat for like 7-8 hours. Then I have to go to practice.
Okay.
But it the pay was all right, but it was a good like like young teenager like job, I guess. But it was, yeah.
I actually have a funny story with it.
Oh,
So
shoot.
my
okay.
first job was for Oak Cove,
Oh yeah.
which was a resort in Michigan. Families would go and vacation there, and it was on a lake. And I worked there for about 2 weeks, and I was just a handyman. I'm not exaggerating. My first entire week was picking up sticks, and I would go around because it was just after winter, and we had to clean up and make it look presentable. And the people who ran it were very particular on how they wanted it to look. So I had to pick up every stick. No matter how small, no matter how big, I had to pick it up.
And Karen, I remember they were like super picky about it. Like they were actually like,
I'm like, it's not even. I'm like, it's this big, and they're like, so you see it, and I'm like, okay. So they were real particular. One of the days I ripped my pants. And at the same, when I applied to there, they hired me right away. But I also applied to the local flea market to work for the flea market. And I had started working at Oak Cove before. And so the flea market called me and said, oh, like, you can work here too. So I went back to, I worked a day there, and I'm like, this is way better. I just worked in a concession stand and sold hot dogs. I'm like, this is way better than picking up sticks. So I went to Oak Cove, and I was like, hey, I just got hired at the flea market, so I'm letting you know I can't work weekends anymore. And they were like, we are a family here. We do not want you working for our competitors. You either work with us or you will be fired.
it was like a mafia boss.
Yeah. Like there was real
Tension.
gang turf there. And I was like, yeah, I'd rather sling hot dogs than pick up sticks. So I was like, I quit. And they were like, good luck with that.
Oh,
Just know
shoot.
when you apply next year, because you will, we won't accept you.
And you never did apply
And I never
again.
applied back. I was like, I'm good.
That's,
Dang.
yeah, that's, jeez.
Some petty type stuff.
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
very much. That's some small town stuff
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Dang. I guess for me, I worked at a thrift store.
Okay.
and it was
That's a
fun
good one. Yeah.
because I just get to see everything that would come through.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one day I found I found a jacket that had boat keys in it. I was like, this is probably someone's worst day right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
But like, yeah, I got some pretty cool stuff there. But yeah, it was just fun for my first job.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy that came through. Except I guess I got a leg compressor. That was pretty cool for recovery, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. The worst days would be when someone just like takes a truckload and just dumps it out for donations, like off hours in the middle of the night. Because there was one time especially where someone did that and then it rained. So all day we were picking up wet clothing, and like some of this clothing was so bad too. Like
Just worn
people
out.
just like take a crap in it and leave it. Like
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Yeah.
But it was a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that day,
Yeah.
it
My
was really good.
My second job was a lot more exciting. It was I worked at a restaurant.
Mhm.
In the I worked in the kitchen, and that was the stuff that goes on in a kitchen is crazy. I worked there for 2 years, not like straight, but like I would work there during the summers when I
Mhm.
wasn't gone at school, and the stuff
Yeah,
that,
just living the bear.
yeah, so the show the bear, that's what it goes on. Yeah, it was crazy. It was a crazy job. I loved it because it's a huge adrenaline rush the whole time, but it's also incredibly stressful and fast paced, but it's kind of fun at the same time.
What was your favorite thing to like make?
Well, they started me off on pizzas. So I started off as a dishwasher. Usually that's how it works in a kitchen. You always start off as a dishwasher, and then if you're, a hard worker, and I guess they like you, I don't know, they move you up. So I started off as a dishwasher for like 2 days, and then she's like, one of my bosses was like, you should try out the kitchen. I think you'd like it. We could teach you how to make the pizzas, because they're very tedious about it. They have it's Italian restaurant, so their style is very specific. They like it done in a very specific way, which I respect. So like, she was like, I'll just teach you how to make the pizzas. So then I started making pizzas for a while. That was fun, but there was always like no help. It was usually just me.
Oh yeah.
So, and we would do take-ins and takeouts at the same time. So it was like, I would have so many orders, and it was just me. And then the rest of the kitchen would have like a chef would have a sous chef, and then that sous chef would have another chef for them. And I'm like, can I work with you guys? Like, you guys have all the help in the world. So they would sometimes like rotate me. So like sometimes I do pizzas, and then other times I would help make some of like the main dishes. It's all just mainly Italian dishes, a ton of pasta. Sometimes they would have me on the grill sometimes, but sometimes I'd have to do meal prep. But I don't know if I have a favorite thing. I didn't really like making any of it because it was just really stressful. I loved eating it, but I don't know if I loved making it. But yeah, that was crazy. But
Yeah.
all right, and I guess we should move on to
Yeah, for sure.
top 5 in the episode, or this week's top 5. So this week we're doing, this might be some hot takes here. I don't know. Hopefully no beef starts.
With our fellow content creators.
Yeah, with our fellow.
I'll say that.
That means they would have had to contact us, so that's kind of cool. No.
Yeah.
So this week's top 5 is like top 5 best running YouTubers right now, or just ever, I guess. I don't know, but mainly right now.
Yeah.
So so we start off as our number 5 and go up. So you can, we'll just go this way. You go first.
Yeah. So this is when I need a quick shoe review. I just go to Ben Parks. I guess I'm just gonna say shout out Ben Parks. I'm gonna shout out every single one. This guy, I think he's from the UK maybe. But yeah, just quick shoe reviews. Talks about durability a lot, so I enjoy that. But yeah.
Oh, I thought something went wrong. We're good. Okay.
Okay. Shout out producer Max.
Yeah. My number 5. It's not like one person. It's a company, but I love their videos. Tracksmith. Their running videos are just so like meaningful, and they just get everything right about being a runner. Other than their prices are like so unnecessary. Like, I'm not paying $80 for a jacket, but
But if you want to sponsor us, that's okay.
but if you want to sponsor us, please, because your stuff is very like the best quality. But I can't afford that. But no, their videos are great, really meaningful. Yeah, I just love them. They're usually like montages, but they're like the type of videos only true runners are gonna get. So it's nice.
So I don't really watch true running YouTubers. I'm way more influencer. So my number 5 is the Maple Miles podcast.
Oh shoot. Okay.
I don't know if that's a compliment or a diss. So
It's a compliment. You're in my top 5.
Let's
go.
go.
Put us as number 1, dude. What are
You didn't send the money.
Anyways.
No, I actually think that I actually listened to every episode.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right, yeah. Number 4.
Yeah, I got Adam Wood from BYU. Yeah, sometimes Isaiah sends me these videos. I sometimes watch them. I don't know.
Yeah.
He seems pretty, I don't know, like pretty passionate about running.
For
So
sure.
like, I think he works like a 9-to-5 job, but also runs marathons, which is just pretty crazy.
Really competitive.
I mean, I guess you do that too. Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
I like watching his content sometimes when I want to get inspired. So
Yeah.
yeah.
My number 4 is also Adam Wood. I don't know. I just like his like how he goes about it. He's very focused, but he's also not. I think there's a certain point where you can be overly focused where it just backfires.
Mm-hmm.
So he has a really good balance, and he just seems like a cool guy.
Okay, this just came to me. I think that he's one of the most real YouTubers.
Exactly.
'Cause
Yeah.
One of the things that sticks out to me is he was playing Fortnite in the morning, and he's like, "Hey, like if I'm gonna play, it has to be in the morning, and that's when I get my dubs."
Yeah.
I'm like, that is so real, man. Like, you gotta play video games at some point.
And he's just on that like quote, as the Silva guys like to call it, like that blue collar like grind where it's like, yeah, I work 9 to 5, but I'm also training to try and qualify for the Olympic trials. Like he does that. I mean, he wakes up at 5 a.m. gets his workout in, and then goes to work at 7, 8 a.m.
Yeah,
It's
man.
nuts, but
That's crazy.
yeah.
My number 4 is Noah Lyles.
Okay.
If you just because of his last video, it is so hype and so
yes.
cool of just him saying he's going to be the fastest man in the world, and then just seeing him do that. Like, he's so cocky about it, but it's also like it's so cool. Where it's like he is, and you just gotta respect that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for
That's
sure.
totally valid. Yeah, that's one that I probably should have on my list, but I didn't think about Noah Lyles until we said something right before we recorded. So, number 3, this one's kind of special to me for, I guess, when I was maybe 3 years younger. But Seth James Damore, I think he has there's a banner in the Sailor's Pizza.
There
right?
is, yeah, they have one. Yeah.
Yeah. He had vlogs for years, which I think he's kind of stopped doing that now, or not posting daily now. But he'd have great shoe reviews too. I'm a big shoe guy, so most of these things are shoe related. But yeah, man, I really enjoyed his content when he did it. And dude's crazy on Strava. Have you seen his how many followers he has?
I haven't seen it.
It's 55,000 followers on Strava.
That's crazy.
He has a whole community. It's bigger than Goshen.
Yeah. That's nuts.
Yeah.
A little yawny. All right. My number 3 is Morgan McDonald. He never posts hardly ever, which is very makes me sad.
Shout out Coffee Club though.
But he makes up for it with Coffee Club. Yeah. And yeah. But I just love his style. They're really goofy, and he's just funny. And yeah, I love the style of his videos, and I like how he goes about running as well. So
My number 3 is Floberg Runs.
Huh.
He's a small YouTuber, has 10,000 subscribers, but Chicago-based marathon guy.
yeah.
Category of blue collar, has a full-time job,
Yeah.
has 2 kids, and runs 2:30 marathons.
Dang.
Those are the guys
Those are the hidden gems of
Mhm.
YouTube.
I don't want to say the hot topic, but those guys are much more impressive to me than the pros, because the pros get paid to do it. They have all the time in the world. That's their life. But these other people are, working full time and then still figuring out how to do it. And so
I think it's crazy in the marathon that they get paid just for that 10-minute difference
yes,
between someone who's really good
yes,
and then just being 10 minutes faster. You're like, oh, you're the best in the world.
yeah, it's nuts. Yeah,
For sure, man. Yeah. My number 2 is Believe in the Run. This goes further than just YouTube. I listen to their podcast as well. I really enjoy the content that they have, and they structure the podcast, I guess, is a structure of if you're going to run. So they have breaks, and they're like, all right, you're probably a couple miles through now. Just keep focusing on the podcast, or I don't know, something like that.
yeah,
But then they have really good shoe reviews as well. They always start the same way, which I think is kind of funny. But yeah, is Thomas with Believe in the Run? Is Megan with Believe in the Run? I don't know. I just find it. I enjoy it.
Go Leafs.
Yeah, whatever.
No.
Go Leafs. Yeah.
Yeah. My number 2 is the man Noah Lyles. I love Noah Lyles. Almost messed up his name there, but I love that dude. I think people like to hate on him, and I don't understand why, but it's almost like that's why he's so cocky too. And he, other than the Olympic 200, he does back it up. And I just love Noah Lyles. I don't know what else to say. I love Noah Lyles. His videos are good. He's good for the sport. Yeah.
My number 2 is Clayton Young. His Paris build vlog.
Yes.
His New York City. It's hard to put him in the YouTuber class because they're so high production.
Yeah.
But I love hearing how he talks about running and showing what a high-end American marathoner looks like.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I totally agree with that one. My number 1 is Lex and Leo Young's channel, LNL. Is that what you had to?
No,
Okay.
not.
All right. Yeah, I think that they just do so good for being full-time college athletes, or student athletes, being student first. But then also having this super. What?
No, nothing. Never mind.
What was that? You're just gonna let that fly?
Do they put student first? I don't know.
I mean, they go to Stanford, majoring in architecture. That's pretty cool. I think that's Lex.
Yeah. I just like to hate on him. I'm sorry.
Okay, but they're also younger than you. They're older than me, so I can look up to them.
No, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, but I think that they just have really high quality production for
For sure.
what they are, and they're on athletes, which is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, their videos are fun to watch for sure. My number 1's Clayton Young. Pretty much everything you said. Production's great. Everything's great about it. He's really fun to watch. His videos are almost meditative to watch. He really captures the running aura that you like, that you want, just like how Tracksmith does. Yeah, and they're really long, which makes it even better. Just the episodes, I feel like I'm watching a full TV episode, which is great. And he posts really consistently, which is, I think, one of the most important things.
My number one is Kofuzi. Does a lot of shoe reviews, but my favorite, and definitely what got me into marathon running, is his A Runner's Weekend in whatever world major it is, to show the behind the scenes of races and how that's together, but mainly like the community of runners and what that's like. And that really got me into running as a whole. It was something that I wanted to be a part of.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah, that is definitely something too that people that don't run just don't really think about, which is like the running community is so loving.
Amazing.
I love the positivity, especially during race day. Like turkey stampedes, turkey trots are like one of my favorite times of the year, because you get done with the race and everyone's just happy. Like everyone's like, hey, nice work. Like you don't even know them, but you're like just still fist bumping them. Like,
yeah.
And you just get to meet a lot of people. On Strava, you get a couple followers out of it.
Yeah.
You know, just spreading the love for the sport. It's such a good community, and
100%.
yeah.
That was one of the things that I was most insecure when I started, was like I was slow, and like I didn't want to share my times with people. I'm like, they're gonna see how slow I am.
Yeah.
They're gonna see like I had to walk like half the time, and like actually posting, like no one in the running community does that. Everyone's
the
always
super
like,
toxic ones do, and like they're usually the people that people stay away from. So, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And usually they don't end up being successful for that long usually, but no, the running community is so positive for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Oh shoot, the computer turned off.
Oh. Wait,
Hold on. Give me my fingerprint real quick.
I failed you.
All right. What are we at? Are we at like 40 minutes?
This is a long one.
42.
Whoa, this
Wow,
is
this
go.
is the longest
Let's
episode.
go.
Dang. All right.
Marathon episode.
Yeah, dude. Do we want to do the? Oh shoot, where is it? Funny things that runners do.
Oh
real quick?
yes, we've skipped over. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This is gonna be our last segment.
Yeah. Last segment. Funny topic. Funny or weird things that runners do that like aren't weird to runners but are weird to like everybody else.
I can go first.
I have an answer.
Oh, you have an answer?
Yeah.
Okay, you can just go. You got it.
I think it's bragging about how ugly your feet are.
Yes. Yes.
They'd be like, look, they're so beat up, my toenail
Yes.
fell off, and like bragging about that, or like having
Yes.
bloody socks.
Yes.
I don't participate in that, but I've seen it, and like flexing how beat up your feet can get
Yes.
after long runs.
Yes. It's a flex.
Crazy. I had to reach out to a couple of people about this one, but low-key talking about ourselves so much, like
Yeah.
talking about, oh, like I went for this today, I felt like this today, I'm gonna do this tomorrow, and then obsessed with sleep schedule and eating schedule.
Super.
Being
Super.
It's like we're hating on ourselves. But yeah, like except for last night, watched the boxing fight, but like yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That, and then what was the other one? Any little pain we talk about.
Yes. I have a little pinch in my quad. I don't know.
Yeah,
Just
like-
anything. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would say are the big ones right now.
For me, this is really with the team too. We just go around in public and just be like, "Yo, how's the body feeling?" And like anybody who's not a runner is not gonna know if we're talking about like how the legs feeling. Just like it just sounds funny if you don't know what the context is, but
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, just how we talk about how we're feeling and stuff. That's funny. But
Yeah.
also just I don't know. I feel like runners are very like I've done this several times where like, you know, having to like use the bathroom at a gas station or something. I just walk in short shorts, shirtless,
Yeah.
and like sometimes it's like 40 degrees out. It's just like I don't know. We just don't care. We don't care, which is cool. Yeah.
I think that another thing is, I don't know if you guys do this, but you apply like running terminology to other things in your life.
Yeah.
So like for my hair, I'll be like, yeah, I got a rotation. Like I like do this every couple days. And it's like I'm such a running nerd.
Yeah.
I've started to use it to describe how hard my workday was.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it was pretty chill. I was in zone 2 all day.
That's awesome.
With like your heart rate and
Yeah.
stuff.
I'm gonna start using that. That's pretty good.
How stressful was your day today? Oh, it was like zone 1. It wasn't bad.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, some days
Double
I get
threshold.
zone 4. I touched zone 5 actually. It was
Oh,
tough.
no.
That's, oof. I quit. I'm done with that point.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, that's it for me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's all we got.
Got any special shout outs?
Anything?
Follow my Strava.
Yes, Kaleb
Wolfgang.
Yes.
Follow my Strava. That's it.
Yeah. Do you want to
Yeah.
shout out your podcast? too?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
We can add that out.
All right.
All right.
Sounds
I
good.
think that's all we got. Thanks for watching, guys. And yeah.
Yeah. All right. Maple Milers out. See ya.